It's the Evangel Christian School Lightning colliding for the first time with the Cary Christian Knights in this special edition of the 2023 Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawls on 8-Man Extreme. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. I'm Spencer Thompson alongside Brendan Daniel. Proud to be with you in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You know, the term dynasty has been thrown out a lot in the last several years with the 8-man football world, but no team has ever come close to the Evangel Christian School Lightning. Coach Tim Smith and the amount of amazing things he's been able to do with the incredible players he's had. The last loss they had was in 2021 in the state championship, to which they got revenge in the national championship against the Ezekiel Academy Knights. Since then, 17 games straight, have not taken a single loss. Meanwhile, for the Cary Christian Knights, it's been a really difficult run the last several years. About 500, just below it. They lost in the first round of the playoffs game, but their star quarterback is really what's setting them for the stage tonight to take on the five-time defending national champions. You know, Brendan, this is one of those matchups where it's really tough to determine how things are going to play out because you never know how the Evangel Christian School Lightning are going to shape up. But if there's one thing we've learned, no matter how much doubt you have of the Lightning, not necessarily you, but how much doubt anybody has of the Lightning in the offseason, it gets suppressed very quickly.
Oh, and I'm expecting that very quickly. I'm expecting the Evangel to just come out and just do what they do, and that is to come out and just take the other teams, just throw and just beat them all.
You know, the star quarterback, Dan Wazowski Jr., what an incredible run he had last year, and he's pretty much their claim to fame. The senior leader is incredible in what he's done in the last year, but a full football team is what's required to beat the Evangel Lightning. But on the other side of the ball, you know, last year Eli Whitfield was the big star quarterback for them and did a lot of plays. But now Will Welch has stepped up to that role, and he's got big shoes to fill.
And he's actually shown a couple years back when the first-string quarterback went down, I'm sure he got some play time, and he actually looked pretty good. So we'll see what he has on this year in this beginning game.
I tell you, five-time defending national champions, hard to beat. But what better place to try and beat them than at 9 o'clock Eastern on the mountain in Gatlinburg. It's going to be special, and we exclusively have the call for you of the national broadcast here on 8-Man Extreme. Couple of corrections on my part from our broadcast introduction. David Wisniewski Jr. is the starting quarterback for the Cary Christian Knights, and Kemp Swords, the junior, is the starting quarterback. We just talk about Will Welch because of how incredible his stats were on the 2022 campaign. He had 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the brief time that he was a quarterback. And Evangel, what better way to start than the Evangel Lightning with Will Welch to take the kickoff return for the touchdown.
And like I said, they're just coming for the next, and that's the first thing they do, score right off the kick return.
Why not strike first?
8 seconds into the game, and the Evangel Lightning, as they usually do, like to strike first, as their motto is with Strike Lightning. And 2-point conversion, easy for Swords with the keeper. Makes it a 8-0 game already. Don't even get a chance to talk off the bat about the Evangel offense, really. And looks like the Knights, we will get to see them potentially on offense for the first time. So it looks like on the report it said that Evangel was the away team and Cary Christian was the home team. Looks like we'll have to flip that around as the Well, if you look at the scoreboard, it's got the Lightning on the closer side for the home team indication, which would make sense because of them being the national champions in that regard. So we'll get that changed as we get closer into the competition. With that being the case as well, that's why you see the score showing up on the other side there. Evangel Lightning already have a 8-0 lead, 8 seconds into the competition. Squib kick there. It's immediately fallen on. They can't get it back up. Finally picked back up by one of the Knights, and he's got some space. An immediate respond. Jake Cesars for the touchdown. What a response.
And what a crazy start to the game in general. Just 2 balls and able to pick up and just take them back for returns on touchdowns. It's going to be a crazy game. Probably not as one-sided as we thought.
Crazy already that a high school game is starting at 9 in the evening. Make it even more crazy that you have a chance for it to be tied within not even 20 seconds.
We've seen no offense.
Yeah, still no offense. Just special teams doing their job.
Yeah, technically we saw offense on that 2-point conversion attempt from Evangel, but even then that's just a quarterback keeper up the middle. So you could call that offense. It is technically, but James giving me the disappointment look. So 2-point conversion attempt trying to go up the middle, and there's one thing that Evangel is known for is their defense, among many things. So make that 8-6. So the Evangel Lightning will start out with the lead by a 2-point conversion. And just so you're aware, the score that you see on your screen is correct. We will get the logos updated in just a few moments. The Evangel Lightning lead 8-6. Get those changed. It was indicated on the program that Evangel was the away team, which didn't seem to make any sense with how it was reported on the scoreboard. But the 5-time defending national champions. And this one will be actually booted for a good distance and picked up at about the 18, steps out of bounds at the 15, and for the first time we will see the Evangel Lightning offense. We talked about it in the open. Will Welch, one incredible move that he's had. 29 carries for 333 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdown out of 13 receptions for 162 yards. Also puts in work on the defense, an interception, 11 tackles, caused fumble. There's nothing Will Welch isn't comfortable with doing for the Evangel Lightning, and it's also because he's had a lot of great mentors over the years.
And with that, he's going to carry the team home, honestly, and let's see what he has in this offense.
So we'll start out with a carry, and free from the offensive line, Hunter Adkins, another star senior for the Lightning, finds an opening to get to about the 40-yard line.
And folks, get ready to hear his name a lot because you're going to hear it. He's one of the star running backs of this team and generally of this whole tournament.
And the Knights have been given their first sideline warning of the game. Looks like they were coming a little too close to the sideline. And we did confirm Cary Christian is the home team and Evangel is away. That has been confirmed. And Evangel as a visitor, marching down the field, starting out at the 38-yard line. Quick toss left side, and that is ruled incomplete. There's a pass intended there for Will Welch. Lob pass in the backfield. They get that to Atkins again. Carry of a couple of yards there. Bring up a second down, and looks like we've got a early timeout already for the officials. Looks like unfortunately we've got an injury already. Hard to tell in the pile. Looks like it is Evangel Lightning player. Looks like Adkins is the one to go down, which not be good this early on. Step aside for an injury timeout. Will Welch being looked at by the medical staff as quick toss right side, and the catch made. I don't think he got his feet in bounds. He did not. It was a good catch by Zion Thompson. Only had 2 receptions for 5 yards in the 2022 campaign. Tried to get a catch there, just couldn't get in bounds.
And correction, Spencer, is Hunter Atkins who's getting looked at.
Yeah, Hunter Atkins, star last year, had 126 carries for almost 1,400 yards and 27 rushing touchdowns. If that weren't enough, 25 catches for about 320 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. Puts in a lot of work for the Evangel Lightning. And this was there. Looks like a false start. Only time you really see minor mistakes like that from the Lightning offense is during the beginning of the season when they're working out these issues. 3rd and 15. Keeper. Swords up the middle. Gained a little bit past the start of the drive. Brings up a 4th and 9. Welch will punt it away. The Knights didn't have anyone deep back to receive, but Cesars started going back, and they'll just let it bounce to the 35-yard line. And the Knights will get to work with decent field advantage. We talked about it in the open. Their star quarterback, 21 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in 2022. Also had 86 carries for 620 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, a little bit of receiving here and there. But what's also impressive is the amount of work he's put in on the defense. 106 total tackles, about 4.5 sacks. Putting work on both sides of the ball.
And he's going to need to do that today, more against this team.
1st and 10, quick toss. Catch is made. Great reception there by Myers. Myers trying to cut to the outside. 3-on-3 action as Thompson stops him, but a big gain to the 41-yard line.
Just a perfect pass. Way to get one guy miss and let him run into his other guy, and then just easy tackle.
And the Knights trying to, one of the things you can do to try to win against the Evangel Lightning is go up early. Carry here by Tyler Green is stopped by Evangel line, Zane Barlow and company. You know, we saw this back in 2019 where the Grace Baptist Academy Eagles were able to be victorious in Alabaster, which is almost unheard of. And it's because they got up early and loses the football in the backfield and fallen on by trying to get the number here, recovered by the Knights. That looked like either Smirsky or Elliott.
And that's the last thing you want to do with this Evangel team is just to give up the ball like that. Yes, he was trying to come down and probably go down with the ball, but you want to make sure you got a good handle on it because that Evangel will make you pay if you turn over the ball.
It's about a third down and close to a quarter of the field. As the Knights have an unfortunate mistake there. Lone in the shotgun. Wisniewski. Incomplete pass. Cesar's the intended receiver. Cary Christian last year, they ended the season 5-4, so on a positive record. 2-3 in the NCISAA. Most of their victories came on the road. They only had 2 home games last year. And heading into 2023, a 1-game losing streak from their first-round playoff game against Arundel Parrott Academy Patriots. Arundel Parrott was the team that dealt them their last loss at the end of the 2022 season. Right on the 49-yard line is where the Lightning will start off for about their second offensive drive at this point, maybe third. Their second, because again, they scored on the opening kickoff, so what need for them to bring out really the offense. Got forced to a 4th and out. And ball almost mishandled, but a great save there. And a good gain there by Caleb Austin, the junior, who had no carries in the 6 games he played last year. Beg your pardon, he had no carries. He had 2 catches and got there for a first down at about the 36-yard line.
Shout out to Reed Harvey with the good tackle, possibly saving it.
Especially difficult to try and stop guys like Caleb Austin. This one, another carry up the middle, and swallowed by the secondary. That was Caleb Austin again. One of the things you'll notice about this Evangel team as well, they are junior heavy this year. Decent amount of seniors as well. A lot of players who will try to graduate next year. As the 5-time defending national champions face a 2nd and 8. This one pitched. It's Will Welch. Will Welch on the right side. He's brought down. Initial contact by Green. Short by 2 to the line of gain. Third down and short. And this time Swords will keep it himself, trying to find space. He does get the first down and a little bit more just outside the red zone.
And what a nice run by him as well. Just watch as he kind of gives a nice little swerve on it, a little Just easy. Whoop, excuse me, sir. I'm just going to go for the first down.
Looks like Landon Myers was trying to get the initial tackle on him, and you could see at the end, frustrated with himself at that.
Hey, it happens, brother. Pick yourself up and get the next one.
From the 21-yard line. Handoff. Good carry. Free for Caleb Austin. Touchdown.
And that's just great blocking by the offensive line. Just watch this replay right here. Everybody picks up a man on offense. Boom, boom, boom. Easy, just walk in for the touchdown.
Two-point conversion attempt. Welch keeping it. This time he is brought down by Landon Myers. 14-6 with about 2:46 left to go in the first quarter. As the Lightning lead by 8. Fourteen to 6. It's a high up kick. It's gone to 10 yards and a big hit on the kick there and big hit on the reception. Looked like Jackson Kirk was able to walk it off.
And I don't know if he cared to call a fair catch or not. I don't know. He just waved it off. You can't just wave it off. You're going to call fair catch. Call it, buddy.
Looks like one of his teammates, 13, had done the fair catch motion, but 2 is the one who has to go for the ball. But even then, 13 just waved his arm and wasn't looking anywhere near it. Wisniewski Jr. See if he can get anything going on this second drive for the Knights. Here's Wisniewski trying to keep it. Can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 2. Second and 12. And got him for the encroachment. Encroachment on the defense. 90 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ball moved up with the encroachment penalty for about a 2nd and 6. Scramble, deep toss on the left side, overthrown target. Pass intended for Cesars, and a lot of the Evangel fans wanting an offensive pass interference on that play. They won't get it.
And they should get it, though. I mean, literally, the wide receiver is pushing the defender just to make space. Look at this. That's blatant, right in your face.
And the official's standing right there. Brings up a 3rd down. And motion there. Looks like they'll call a false start on that.
Right on the quarterback. I haven't taken it.
Quick toss left side. It's an interception. Picked by Zane Barlow. He gets stopped from having a pick 6, but gets to the 20-yard line. And Zane Barlow, last year he had 5 interceptions, averaged about 16 yards on each of those returns. He's already up to 1.
And it just seems like the whole secondary on each team is just reading these plays so easily.
The guy who started out as a defensive end is now making star plays on the secondary side for the Lightning and has shut down that drive for the Knights.
Coach might have to look at him for playing tight end a few times.
And I'll hand this off to Austin. Austin again just makes it look easy. Touchdown.
And I believe he hurdled over a defense. Let's watch this replay and see. Had a late guy coming in on defense. They're not ready, so go ahead and go. Yep, oh, no. Just the offense doing their jobs and making a nice little lane for him to walk in.
And the training staff is still looking at Hunter Atkins on the sideline, which is an unfortunate loss for the Lightning if it's anything very serious. Lightning go up 20-6. Cary up the middle. Short of the line again. Short of the goal line. Which is the line again. 20-6. 4 seconds left here in the first quarter. The Lightning already striking after the Storms have already passed. Thankful that all 97 of you could join us here on 8-Man Extreme, the final game of 4 for the 2023 inaugural Black Bear Brawls, hosted by Rocky Top Sports World, Legion Field, within Hammond Stadium on the mountaintops of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Of course, Rocky Top Sports World now with 4 sets of All-American games underneath their belts, decided why don't we add some kickoff games, add to the excitement of the high school football season and give some more spotlights for players and reward most valuable players of the game with a scholarship guaranteed slot in the either All-American game or Rising Stars game. Runs down to 41 seconds left here in the first quarter. First and 10 from the 29. Cary Christian trying to get something going here. Toss right side, incomplete. Looks like the pass was intended for Kilpatrick. Couldn't really do much with being hit as the ball was thrown.
Evangel's defensive line is just killing the offensive line for CCS. They're going to have to figure something out for other protection, maybe put a running back there to help out the quarterback.
Looks like I got a four-man pressure. Quick release, incomplete, pass intended for Green. You see the challenge here of that Evangel is sending 4, and you only have 3 at the line. There's only so much that the Knights can do at the offensive line.
Usually you count 3 seconds as a quarterback. He doesn't even have 3 seconds. He has maybe 1.
Generously a second and a half of what you counted on that last one.
So that's when, as a quarterback, you just got to know the plays, and as soon as that wide receiver hits that hitch route, you just got to throw it to him.
But you do give it to the senior. He has a quick release and is able to make those decisions in high-stress situations. Got another one to make up here on a 3rd and 10. And 13 gets past. Catch is made. Nowhere to go. That was Tyler Green. And not much to be done there. That makes it to about a 4th down. Will Welch back to receive the punt. He's sent away by Myers. Booted away, could have been blocked there. Here's Welch from the 47. Looking for an opening. Will Welch is really good at this. He's got 2 men to beat, and he'll just settle for going out of bounds at the 26-yard line with 12 seconds left in the first. Looks like we have a flag in the backfield. This is roughing the punter. Looks like they could move it forward. 15 yards from the end of the run. Looks like Coach Smith talking with the officials just to clarify the ruling there. And it moves it up, and new life for the Knights. They move it up to the 42-yard line. Sometimes a punter's got to take one for the team, so to speak. Not expecting it, certainly.
But usually a punter's a tad bit used to it. I mean, you got to take a couple of hits in a couple of games.
Actually, we are corrected on that, so it was a 15-yard penalty, but it was added to, okay, face mask on Evangel, that's what it was, so not roughing the punter. So face mask on Evangel, it did take it back to the 42-yard line, so the Lightning are on offense. Looks like Coach Josh Elliott having a conversation with the Whitecap as well. What could be the final play of the first quarter. Scramble right side, looking for the pass. It's almost intercepted. How in the world did Zion Thompson catch that?
That's called wide receiver concentration. You're just staying in the zone. You're not caring about that corner. You're just looking for the ball to catch it, perfect throw, kind of. A little short, but the wide receiver was able to fight for that.
What a way to end the first quarter with a great catch from Zion Thompson. The Lightning lead 20-6 here in the 2023 Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawl over the Cary Christian Knights. Start of the second quarter from the Smoky Mountains. 10-minute quarters in this contest due to all the rain delays that happened earlier with thunderstorms. This carry goes up the middle. Gain of about 5 for Kemp Swords, the junior starting quarterback who had big shoes to fill. Last year, Eli Whitfield. Pretty much in the last several years, you've had a long line of stellar quarterbacks for the Evangel Lightning, at least in recent memory. The question, of course, comes to, is Kemp Swords able to fill those shoes, and or is he able to keep things going? So far, no problems on the season, especially in this first game, as keeps it, end zone, touchdown.
2 good runs in a row. My goodness. If you're worried about him picking up the quarterback position, you don't have to worry here if you're watching this game because he is doing you guys right.
When Coach Smith has faith in you to be the starting quarterback, more importantly, your offensive coordinator, Coach Hagan Joyner, has huge faith in you to lead the offense and his schemes, and you know you're doing something right. And we're seeing that on full display already. 26 points in about 15, 16 minutes.
And this is only the first game.
I'll correct myself. About 20 points or so because one of those was on special teams. 2-point conversion attempt, toss to the corner of the end zone, and 2 feet inbounds. 2-point conversion made. Great work by Clay Stanton, the senior. Makes that 28-6. (28-6). Evangel Lightning with a onside kick. Shaves a few seconds off the clock already. See if the Cary Christian Knights can actually get something going here on the mountain. And so far, the only points that have been on for the Knights are on special teams and onside kick recovery.
Now they got to figure out on offense, but it's kind of hard when this Evangel defense is saying, hey, you got 0.5 seconds to throw the ball, so you better figure it out because we're sending the house.
First and 10. Looks like encroachment. Again, the only time you'll really see this in the first 2, maybe 3 games for the Lightning. Actually, it's a false start on the offense. So not any problems for the Lightning defense so far.
It's just that offensive line trying to get a little head start because they know what's coming.
And James was mentioning to us, it seems like the Cary Christian Knights haven't really had to deal with a defense this tough because the Evangel Lightning, they always, it just seems like on their defense, they always have these just much more sturdier, bulkier guys. And that's a testament to their weight room and the amount of conditioning they do over the summers. First and 15, quick toss across the middle, and that is complete, even in coverage. A good reception by Wisniewski. So Reed Harvey is the quarterback now. Wisniewski Jr. got moved to the wide receiver position. We'll see if that benefits him.
I mean, it gave him something, and maybe he's the guy to be out there as a wide receiver instead of quarterback.
Reed Harvey, the sophomore, not a whole lot of statistics in his freshman year. Likely they gave more reps to the higher upperclassmen, and scramble there, brought down Reed Harvey, nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like this Evangel even gave him time to even set his feet. And as you showing the blitz there, everybody just comes through. Yeah, he doesn't even have time to think about it. Just go ahead and go to the ground, my boy.
On the 50 for a second and about 21. Under pressure, gets the pass off, catch again by Wisniewski. Gets to about the 39-yard line, about to the right back where they started for a 3rd and 10.
And now they're putting in a little trickery play here. Play action, gives him enough time to throw it, find this guy, and get a first down.
Back from the 39. It's a deep toss to the left. Looking in coverage, incomplete. Pass intended for Cesars.
And it was almost picked off, honestly. But luckily, I think the wideout had a nice hand inside there to break it off.
It's coverage by Zane Barlow. Again, we talked about how he's been active mostly on the defensive side. And I think the Knights realize that punting it away is not going to be advantageous for them, as they will go for it here on a 4th and 10. Not much for them to lose at this point anyways.
Nope. Right now, you're just paying for pride. I mean, not even for pride. You just want to see if you can get anything and try to get back into this game.
And Cary is going to call their first timeout of the half. And with that, we will step aside with 6:07 left to go in the first half. .607 left to go in the second quarter. As the Lightning try to get a defensive stop on 4th and 10, a chase down. Nowhere for Znuski to go as he's brought down by the Evangel defense. Forces a turnover on downs. And another timeout called by the Knights. That'll be their second of the half. Another chance for them to regroup. Been a decent day so far here on the mountain. We saw a good JV game between Georgia Force and the Cabarrus Stallions. Also saw a game that, albeit a rain delay between it, we saw a good game down the stretch between the Pack Panthers and the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors. Then Georgia Force collided with the Cabarrus Stallions in an actual varsity game. And that one also went to overtime. James is still recovering on his voice just a little bit. And, of course, have this final game of the Black Bear Brawl. Been a good day on the mountain, albeit a little later than most people might be used to. Usually this is about the time where you're getting into the fourth quarter for most high school games. They usually start about 7 or 7:30 on Fridays or Saturday nights. Loose ball and fallen on by Swords. Loss of about 10 yards on the play. I also want to give a special shout out to the Evangel Lightning's assistant coach, Hagen Joyner. I believe he stepped away, was talking about stepping away from football for a little bit, taking care of family. I believe he has a kid that he's expecting this year, so congratulations to him. And good to see him back on the sidelines. In the conversations we've had with him over the years, you would think, because he's been such an incredible offensive coordinator, he could certainly go to any program he wants. He could be a head coach, but he just loves being a part of the Evangel Lightning community. And James is telling me the child has already been born for Coach Joyner. So congratulations to him on now being a first-time father, to my knowledge. And we already have a Lightning player injured, unfortunately. It looks like Caleb Austin is down. And we will take a second to step aside with 4:59 left to go as the medical staff looks at Caleb Austin. So while we were away, Caleb Austin is getting looked at by the medical staff, but the Evangel Lightning called a separate timeout as the team got into the huddle. They've used their first of the half. Deep toss, right side, looking for the catch. How did he catch that in coverage? Clay Stanton with the reception. There is a flag down, so maybe a pass interference here, but even then, still made that catch in coverage.
And I don't know what you call that on, because.
And that is called on the offense.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wide receiver's hands. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, he pushed him off maybe.
Just a tad bit. I feel like they're fighting for it equally. I don't think you should have called that one.
It's one of those things in the officiating where they call a bang-bang play. Brings it back to a 3rd and probably about 20. Toss quick, right side, over the hands, almost intercepted. Could have been Cesar's with it, had it in his hands, couldn't secure the ball.
And you don't never want to tap it up as a wide receiver. You want to tap it down so the corner doesn't have a chance to even try to pick that off.
Fourth and long, one of the few things you see for Evangel, they'll punt it away. And this will head out at about the 49-yard line. And we'll see if Cary Christian could get anything going here. Plenty of time before we get to the intermission. Again, 10-minute quarters, and they've reduced it to a 10-minute halftime. Well, you know, after you get well rested from watching this late night game, you could tune in to the 8-Man Extreme channel tomorrow at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern for Extreme Talk, or watch it afterwards via podcast. Get more into that in a moment. Keeper, and what a hit. Carry by Green. Big play there by Hayden Black.
Oh, my goodness. I don't even have to say nothing. Let's just watch this real quick and listen to the contact. It's so beautiful. Just slip through. Boom.
Nowhere to go. Anyways, Extreme Talk tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. James Shannon will recap all the games from today, games that occurred on Friday in the 8-Man football world, other games that occurred in the 8-Man football world today, which I'm sure those games are concluded if they haven't finished already. And probably have some coaches on the show and get to preview the action for essentially week 2 of the 8-Man football season. It's coming up on Extreme Talk tomorrow on the 8-Man Extreme YouTube channel. And it looks like it's about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in first half as the Knights face a 3rd and 12 after that incomplete pass to the right side. Third down and 12. A little bit of movement around with the receivers. Harvey looking, deep toss right side for Cesars. He's got it. Cesars has got it. No flags. Touchdown.
And as you can see, the defense is just trying to communicate. Step up, get a guy. And nope, everybody's just lost and Just a free, wide open man and an easy touchdown. That rarely happens with Evangel's defense.
Again, first few games for them to have a chance to work it out. And usually what you see on responsiveness from Evangel is they usually get another 2 touchdowns to do a 2-1 ratio. Maybe the Knights defense will be able to step it up here. 2-point conversion attempts coming up. Looking for the pass, right side, incomplete. 28-12 with 3:06 left to go in the second quarter. A 14-point lead for the Lightning over the Knights. (28-12). Onside kick. Immediately fallen on by Clay Stanton. The Knights offense will get back to work. Again, for the Evangel Lightning, 13-0 on the 2022 campaign, undefeated in the ACSC. On a 17-game winning streak last time they lost in 2021, the state championship level, but since then, 2 games won in the national tournament. They continued on since as Caleb Austin finds space again, trying to get past the last man, nothing doing. Tyler Green stopping a potential touchdown for the Lightning.
And that's Evangel winning in the trenches, old line, just able to block everybody out and give him some room. And what a nice save and tackle.
From the 36, Evangel continues to march down the field. Ball loose and fallen on by Austin. No 2-minute warnings in high school football as we pass the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. Scramble again, Swords get to the 40-yard line for a loss of 2. Got a 3rd down and 15 as we approach 10:30 Eastern. Scramble, almost had a sack there, avoiding several men as Kemp Swords flag in the backfield. Kempsort's finally brought down.
Just able to make everybody miss. And I think they got him probably for holding.
Which if it's a holding, likely it'll be declined, so it goes to 4th down. Yep, declined. About a 4th and 14. Timeout called by the Lightning. That's their second of the first half with 49 seconds left to go in the first half. .49 seconds remaining in the first half as the Lightning are going to might go for it here on 4th down with the formation they have. Sometimes you see some trick plays from the Lightning. Looks like they will go for it. Swords looking for the option. He couldn't get the completion intended for Thompson. Too low of a pass. Even if he had caught it, I don't know if he would have gotten to the line to gain. Turnover on downs.
Absolutely not. You just see the defense finally responding and rushing them in and giving them no chance to set his feet and throw a perfect pass.
A chance for the Knights to do something here. Only one timeout remaining for Cary Christian. They do get the ball back to start the second half. Maybe if they manage the clock well, they could march it down the field and get something going here. .42 seconds for the Knights to work with. Looks like an audible potentially called at the line. Just an extra blocker. Across the middle. Catch is made. Reception by Cesars at the 49.
And wait for quarterback to stay poised and just stay in that pocket and just release a nice little ball for the wideout to catch it.
And they'll go by hurry-up offense here, and doesn't look like it's going to benefit them with the flag. False start. And they'll have to quickly snap this because they give them the penalty. Yep, they will run the clock. And it looks like they will burn their final timeout, and then wasted an unfortunate amount of time because now they only have 12 seconds to work with and no chance to stop the clock. Final timeout of the half for the Knights. 12 seconds left. Maybe a deep toss across the middle or the outside or something along those lines, Brennan?
They're going to have to in order to get at least a little advantage for maybe to get out of bounds and kick a field goal. That's the possible chance.
Coming up at halftime, again, it's a reduced 10-minute halftime. We'll keep some of the ambient audio on. The Evangel Lightning's cheer squad will have a halftime show. Leave it for anybody of the Evangel fans who are not watching the wonderful crew that's in the next press section next to us. Scott Stafford and company leading the Evangel home broadcast. "12 seconds remaining in the first half. Looking for the chance. Toss across the middle. Almost a catch made by Landon Myers. Incomplete around the 32-yard line, and only 6 seconds now for the Knights to work with.
In just a few seconds, if that defense didn't get there, he definitely would have got exactly what they needed. But that just caused them to hurry up, and I don't think they would have had enough time to get the ball spiked.
Six seconds remaining. Toss to the right side, incomplete. Looks like it did make it past the line of scrimmage. Make that 2 seconds and actually one more play for the Knights to work with. Looked like Evangel's Grady Watkins, senior, slow to get up at first. Then we looked at by the training staff. Final 2 seconds of the first half will expire. Toss across the middle, and it's almost intercepted by Zion Thompson. Can't pull it in. That's going to do it for the first half. The Evangel Christian School Lightning, for most, not a surprise. For some, why have they allowed 12 points? For others, the Knights are doing pretty well for themselves, only down by 16. Halftime, about 10 minutes between the first half and the second half, so we will be back in a few moments. You're watching the 2023 Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawl on 8-Man Extreme. We welcome you back to Rocky Top Sports Complex, Legion Field at Hammond Stadium. This is a high-up onside kick to start out the second half, and looks like the Evangel Lightning could not get possession for the onside kick. This is Game 4 of the Black Bear Brawl's first time any sort of high school kickoff games have been in this sort of circumstance. Of course, there were games last night that technically kicked off the season, but maybe next year there'll be like a Thursday game or a Friday afternoon or something like that. Who knows? Spencer Thompson, Brendan Daniel, James Shannon bringing you all the action here from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We've been on site all day. Been here since 9 in the morning. Set up all the equipment. James called the JV game. Brendan and I called the other 8-man game between the Pack Panthers and the Lighthouse Warriors, albeit with a large weather delay, which is why we're calling games at 10:40 at Eastern at night. There's a 3.5-hour storm delay. As we'll see if the Knights can get anything going on offense. Maybe here with their star quarterback getting the carry over to the 49-yard line. Maybe a yard gain for a 2nd and 9.
And just a weird wildcat formation. Haven't seen that in a while. And 42 overreached it, and luckily he wasn't able to hit that corner. So if he hit that corner, it might have been a good touchdown.
Yeah, 3.5-hour weather delay in Game 2 caused Game 3 to start late, and then Game 3 went to overtime. Fortunately, at least for the sake of making sure that everybody got home at the appropriate times, only 2 drives is all it took for overtime game to be decided.
If you love football, you enjoy that.
Oh, of course. And looks like a flag here potentially, or, yep, false start on the offense. Move it back 5 yards. First and make that's about 2nd and 16. Toss across the middle, and this time it's an interception by Zion Thompson. Couldn't quite secure it at the end of the first half, manages to get it done in the third.
He went perfectly on this ball, almost like he was the wide receiver that the quarterback was targeting. Look at that, right in stride.
While they're transitioning sides, we'll go ahead and take a look at the schedule first for the Evangel Christian School Lightning. And they have this kickoff game. They face off against the other Evangel Christian. It's when the Lions of Evangel Christian Academy home. They have a 3-game homestand against the Lions, Southern Prep, and the Carolina Wildcats. As they try to take a rush there, Caleb Austin lost about a couple of yards on the play. 3-game homestand. They travel to Huntsville against the Freedom Cowboys. They host the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors. Travel to Ezekiel Academy, then to Franklin Christian. And then they finish out the season with the Southern Christian Patriots. Got some tough teams on that schedule for the Lightning. Including 2 defending conference champions. Inside of 8 minutes in the third quarter. Toss up top. Catch is made. Reception by Will Welch. Will Welch getting to about the 33-yard line.
And what a smart play by Will Welch to come back to that ball and go get it, because he knew his quarterback was in trouble, so he had to come back and go get that ball while it was up in the air.
And meanwhile, you look on the other side of the schedule for Cary Christian. Technically, it doesn't have this game with Evangel listed on their schedule. get into the rest of who they're facing in the season after this play. There's a carry there by Caleb Austin, trying to get to the outside, fallen on by 2 Knights. Cary Christian will face the Carolina Wildcats at home. 2-game homestand. Second school they will face Lawrence Academy, Albemarle School out of North Carolina. Games at home. They travel on the road to face off against the Faith Christian Patriots. Then they will host the Wayne Christian Eagles. Travel over to the Arundel Parrott Academy Patriots. And the Berrien Baptist Academy Bulldogs. And their final road game of the regular season against the Rocky Mount Academy Eagles, as this is punted away by the Lightning, and will have a lucky bounce for them all the way down to the 23. Then the final 2 home games will be the Sandhills Classical Christian Lions, and then close out the season the last weekend of October against the St. David's Warriors. The Knights have certainly had their struggles on offense going through the evening. They'll start out this drive on their 23-yard line. Tried swapping quarterbacks, tried moving around different schemes, and haven't been able to really get anything clicking so far. There's a lobbing in the backfield to Johnson. Gain of about 4 to 5. Toss right side, incomplete through the hands of Wentz. Philip Wentz, the sophomore. One interesting thing about Cary Christian, they do not have a freshman at all on their team. Have about a half dozen sophomores, a little bit more. Handful of juniors and about 2 seniors on their team. They face a 3rd and long. Quick toss, right side, catch made. At least a decent amount of gain and a first down. Cesars with the reception.
It's just a perfect little play action, quick let out pass, and he's able to get enough yards for a first down.
New set of downs on the 35-yard line. And flag down. Move it back 5 yards. False start on the offense. And you almost wonder at this point for the Evangel Lightning, they're leading by 16. You wonder if it's a part of their defensive strategy to continue to allow them to do, as James would put it, these dink and dunk plays to just chip out clock and keep the game from going on too much deeper into the evening.
Oh, yeah. As long as you do that, you have the game in complete control. It's the big plays you got to keep right in struggle.
As they keep Tyler Green inside of the pocket. Collapses on him for a loss of 3.
You just watch this replay here. They're sending the whole kitchen sink and just taking care of business.
Not sure if you could pick it up much from the sidelines, but we were hearing almost an impersonation of the Seagulls mine chant from Finding Nemo. I think it's still going on. Can't tell if it's from the crowd or the sideline.
It might be a combination of both, just to throw off the offensive line.
Getting to that point in the evening. And a sack. No chance for escape. Clay Stanton had 7 sacks on the year in 2022. He's got another one to add to his continually written statistic for the 23 campaign.
And this offensive line is just giving the quarterback no chance at all to even get his feet settled, think about it, nothing. As soon as he steps back, it's just a whole bunch of Evangel white jerseys surrounding him.
Makes it a 3rd and a quarter of the field. A minute 30 in the 3rd. Quick toss left. Could have been a pick 6 had Zane Barlow controlled it and ran forward.
And I've seen this type of play before by a corner. It hits your hand, and you're just sitting there like, oh, no, I want it so bad. Try next time, kid.
Closing in on 11 o'clock Eastern. We'll have a 4th down punt. Could have been blocked there by the Lightning. Very close. Deep back to receive Austin. He's going to let this bounce, or he'll pick it up at about the 22-yard line. Maybe we'll see a punt return from Austin. He's got some blockers, maybe some more space. Trying to tiptoe the sideline, staying in, and finally goes out of bounds inside the 30. And there is a flag back at the 50-yard line. Maybe a block in the back. Have still a 1st down. They'll take it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Special thank you to all 89 of you joining us here this evening. Very much been a one-sided game. There has not been a point in the evening where the Cary Christian Knights have led. It's been all Evangel as Swords go up for a gain of 5. Right side, Welch. Well, Welch trying to get through 2 defenders, nothing doing. Gets down to the 46. That'll be enough to move the chains for a first down.
And Welch is so quick and just so shifty, able to get past any defensive in his way and able to get that first down easily.
And I believe that is going to do it for the third quarter. The Evangel Lightning, as dominant as ever, only 12 minutes separate them from win number 18 straight as they lead the Knights of Cary Christian School 28-12. You're watching the 2023 Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawls on 8-Man Extreme. Ten minutes remaining with the adjusted 10-minute quarters as the Evangel Lightning face a 1st and 10 on 46. And who else but Kemp Swords to find an open space and head all the way into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Lightning.
Watch this, just untouched, like one swift move and he's just gone. No one there. No one to even think about him.
Eight seconds into the fourth quarter, Lightning add another touchdown on these. Usually about the time for both teams where they start cycling in their backups, get the sophomores and juniors and seniors, and for the Evangel Lightning, freshmen, maybe even 8th graders who don't normally get a chance at the varsity level. I'm sure they've been cycling them in at some points, but as this is tossed over and incomplete on the 2-point conversion attempt, makes it a 22-point lead. It's the Lightning lead with 8 seconds shaved off of the fourth quarter. You know, the game in essence, pending a miracle from the Knights, seems solved at this point. Brendan, who's your MVP from the Evangel Lightning?
Is that even a question?
I ask. I have an idea.
I mean, it's the same guy that's just been not even running, really. He's just kind of just been trotting, walking along, skipping in, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the new quarterback is literally showing you why he has this position.
Yeah, the junior Kemp Swords, and he didn't have any stats on record for last year, so I believe
He doesn't need stats.
I believe a new player for the Evangel Lightning this year, and all ready to see him in this kickoff game. He's very impressive from what we've seen so far. Looks like they will run the clock down. Cary Christian will start this drive on the 35-yard line. Pressure again from the Evangel defense. Got to give credit to Harvey to be able to scramble. Deep toss left side, and that catch is made. That one from Cohen Johnson made something of nothing to get a gain of 3.
This will be called backyard quarterbacking. Just escape and try to do whatever you can just to get that ball off, and leave it up to your wide receivers to do the rest.
Shift of the wideouts. Quick toss right side, catch is made. Reception by Wisniewski. Gets down to the 49-yard line for a first down.
Maybe y'all should keep him at wide receiver because, I mean, he's doing a lot better and a lot more than he is a quarterback. Granted, he's done a lot at the quarterback position, but he's helping out a lot more at wide receiver.
Seems also like one of those players that could pretty much fill in any position that's necessary. Might be that he's temporarily put there just because of the struggles he's had against the Evangel secondary. Maybe we'll see him back at the quarterback position later in the season.
It's not even the struggles that he has as a quarterback. It's the pressure that he's getting from Evangel. He has no time to really throw the ball. So maybe all this changeup is really just the trickery that they're playing with Evangel.
Scramble is going to air it out across the middle, and the catch is made. Cesars will be brought down inside the red zone, and a great catch with about 5 Evangel Knights surrounding him.
And this is the miracle you were talking about that they needed to even come close again. Yeah, there's nothing but white jerseys around them, and no one was close enough to even deflect that ball.
And looks like a timeout by the Evangel Lightning. To my knowledge, that is their last of the half. With 7:27 left to go in the fourth quarter, the Lightning lead by 22 here in Gatlinburg. .27 left to go in the fourth quarter. As toss across the middle, incomplete, intended for Landon Myers. Brings up a 2nd and 10 as the Evangel Lightning trying to wrap things up here in Gatlinburg. Same for the Cary Christian Knights. A couple of things as we're also wrapping up this game. Number one, of course, a huge shout out to Rocky Top Sports World and Andrew Capps and all the staff members, trainers, all the hardworking men and women that made this event run so smoothly.
What?
The only challenge was the weather, which nobody can control unless you have an indoor stadium. And everything else went smoothly. One of the staff members came out on the field immediately with a lightning strike as to the left side. Harvey trying to find his way in, slides down at about the 11-yard line. It goes down to get the first down. Everything else about this event, just as you would expect from Rocky Top Sports World. They do a great job with the All-American games and Rising Stars game on the mountain here in December, and they continue to set the bar high for how high school football should be treated.
And if any other places are throwing an event, just, keep on Rocky Top, ask them for help. Maybe they'll give you some pointers on how to run these things because they do it pretty nicely.
Continuing with that, also congratulations to all the teams that were invited to participate in these. Certainly there were other games going on Friday and on this Saturday evening in the 8-man and 11-man football world. But of course, to get to display your talent and your team and your program and get them this level of exposure, as tripped up in the backfield is Johnson. But to get this level of exposure in essentially kickoff games for high school football, something that is very much to be proud of, including the MVP getting the scholarship and automatic bid to the All-American game where they don't have to pay their registration fees, or to my knowledge, lodging is included with that in that scholarship. They essentially don't have to pay or worry about the nominations or anything in that regard. They've already earned their spot at the beginning of the year because they're this good now. It's very likely they're going to be this good throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And intercepted in the end zone. That's an interception by Zion Thompson, who had 9 interceptions last year. Getting closer and closer to building up to that stat line.
And that's the second one for today, as I've been told. So he's already working close to at 9 already. And the game's not even over yet. That's the sad part.
Getting close to the halfway point, about 5.5 to go in the fourth. As we, of course, wrap things up from here on the mountain, and Evangel Lightning get another chance on the offensive side to get another score on, do some other schemes. Maybe a time for experimenting with the offensive trick plays maybe for Coach Joyner if he wants to.
Or maybe call the plays you never thought about calling at all. I mean, I'm sure he has some type of plays in that book where he can just call out random here.
That carry by Austin had a gain of about 3 yards. Unfortunately, these games are going to be concluded by midnight. Well, way before midnight tonight. Toss left side, reception, Will Welch. Will Welch has got some space on the left sideline, and late flag there with the shove, and you see Will Welch just sitting. He just sat down on the bench there where they're being shoved in there. Is just sitting casual. And of course, it's a flag, obviously, and he and certainly looks okay and isn't shaken up or anything, but kind of love the humor of it where he just kind of took it in stride, sat down, and just, I've been here the whole time.
I mean, as much hard work as he's been putting in, he deserves a seat. Why not take that around the other team's bench?
Yeah, and of course, a late hit, not necessary in that regard with the shove. And, of course, the penalty well justified on there. Gives the Lightning start at the 44-yard line. Carry of a few yards there. Looked like there was a timeout called. or penalty illegal formation on the Lightning. Four minutes remaining. Across midfield. Cary up the middle. Austin tried to get free of the tackle. Move the chains for a first down. There's a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, 64, a little extracurricular pushing there. You got to be easy. I know you're winning the game, but there's no point of this all pushing around. Yeah, see all that extra? It's not needed. A little flopping, though.
So it's ruled second down, 15 yards from the end of the run. It's that time of night when you start getting later in the game, even with leading, you start getting a little chippy, and sure there'll be some laps in practice for that.
Oh, yeah. I remember back in the days, I had to run one for sure.
And whistle blown. It's like another flag, so another false start. More penalties late. Second and a quarter of the field. I'll hand this one off. Cary on the right side. Joshua Lumen, the senior. Makes it about a third and 20. Well, Brendan, from the Evangel Lightning you've seen tonight, does this look like a team poised to make a solid run to Florida again this year?
So, yeah, I'm already going to count the 6, honestly, because I don't see them not going in there and not being able to win it. But, hey, it's a full season. We'll see. I've been wrong a few times already. Might eat some humble pie myself.
Sophomore Stone Henderson gets across midfield. How do you think they would fare against the Lighthouse Lions?
I think they fell pretty well, honestly. I feel like Evangel just knows Tim has created this culture of winning, and I don't think they're going to lose it anytime soon, honestly, as long as he's still there.
Yeah, and Coach Smith, he's in his 7th season. He only has lost 4 times in 8-man football, 64-11 overall in their record, and those other 7 losses are from 11-man competitions. And, you ask him all the time as this Cary is on the right side. It's a good rush there by Nick Cloud, the junior. And any of the conversations we have with him, we always ask, how do you reset and do this all over again? And he just talks about how much he loves the kids and how much he's able to invest in them and go well beyond the football walls, because it's also about with his role in leading the program. He also is the head coach for the baseball team and supports the basketball teams, everything else Evangel Athletics. And he always talks about how much he loves working with the kids, loves interacting with them.
And if you're even a parent, not even a kid, you're just sitting there, you're listening to this man talk like that, that makes you want your kid to go play, or you want to go play with a coach like that, because there's so much love and passion that he has, not only for the game, but for the kid and the opportunities.
Cary Christian with 1:13 left to go in the game. They got the ball and have their last-ditch effort to maybe get some more points here. The catch is made by Zach Lindstrom, the sophomore. This goes over to the right side, and that's essentially going to wrap things up here, maybe another play or two. You're right, Brendan. Not many questions about what potential the Evangel Lightning have on this year. There's always that question people might have when they lose so many great players, but then just more of them seem to rise up from the rankings, and it's also a benefit that the Evangel Lightning have their junior varsity team and continue to have that fodder system in a sense, and they just continue to show it. It's always a full program effort for continually sustaining success.
And we've seen that JV play before, and they're pretty good from what we've been seeing. And they just continue that process as a whole, as a football team.
Incomplete across the middle. Looks like the pass was intended for Cesars. It looks like Zion Thompson is limping a little bit, which is not a good sign at all. Especially you hate to have those injuries this late in competition and early on in the season. Hopefully it's just shaken up a little bit. 19 seconds left, 3rd and 9. Final plays of this competition, incomplete across the middle. And we talked about their schedules in the 3rd quarter. Evangel has 2 defending state champions on their record. They've got their in-conference rivals that are always tough to face off against. Cary Christian, same situation with them in their region. As it looks like there will be another timeout called by the Knights. I believe one of their last of the half. 16 seconds left. Final 16 seconds. Likely the last play of the game pending an incomplete pass. The catch made by Cesars getting to the outside, and 9 seconds remain. Looks like the Knights trying to get at least one more score on the board. Down to the 42-yard line. Head coach Josh Elliott will, in his 3rd season, will take loss number 7 with 14 wins, so still in the winning percentage by double. Take a tough loss and regroup as they head into next week's competition. One of the final plays of the contest And the catch is made, brought down inside the 10-yard line, lost the football. It was ruled down by contact inside of the 10-yard line, and with the whistle, I believe that is going to do it. Waiting on the word from the officials, I believe the referees are pointing out there is one more untimed down with the clock not being stopped. They're supposed to spot it on the inside. They spotted it at the 13-yard line. 1 second left on the game clock. So it will technically be one more down. One last chance for the Knights to get a touchdown here. Looks like the formation, they may just kneel it down. And they won't fake there. Toss right side, trying to get to the end zone, swatted down, and that will do it. Evangel Christian School Lightning, 5-time defending national champions, 34-12 over the Cary Christian School Knights. The Lightning have an incredible start to their campaign to defend their national title. For Brendan Daniel, James Shannon, all the hardworking men and women that make this run so smoothly, I'm Spencer Topset saying thank you for joining us, whether you've joined all day or just for one competition. Thank you for joining us in the Backyard Brawls. We'll see you for Extreme Talk tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central.